episode of the Captain's Chronicle podcast. Joining us today, we have Matthew Monastero, star golfer and a commit to UVA for golf. As always, we have Jackson Chin, and unfortunately, we couldn't have Matt Starchville join us today because of baseball obligations, but he'll hopefully be back for another podcast. So how are you today, Matt?
Doing great. How about you guys?
Pretty good.
All right, so I guess we'll just jump right into it. What made you choose UVA to play golf at, and did you have any other offers or any other, books?
Well, there were some interests from other schools, but I was pretty young, and UVA was they were the first offer, so I was like, man, this is just a dream school. I've always wanted to go there. I've always been a fan, and I was like, why not? It seemed like the perfect opportunity for me.
Yeah, that's a pretty good first offer. What was the lead up to the decision like for you?
I had a good month of golf. I was traveling around. I was playing a bunch of tournaments. I was playing good golf. And then I was starting to think, man, I could commit to a college pretty soon. And then soon enough, it just happened. And then I committed to UVA. It was awesome.
What do you have to be good at? Like, what scores do you have to shoot and all that to be able to commit to a D1 school?
Obviously you gotta have pretty low scores. Like, you can't just be shooting in the 80s. But but college coaches like seeing super low numbers, usually in the 60s or low 70s pretty much every time. They don't want someone that shoots above 75. They really like seeing super low numbers, because then they know you have some potential.
Just what's your best score when you get out on the what are you consistently at, and what's your best score you've ever shot for a round?
Well, my best score is 65. I've been on that best score for about 4 years now, and it's getting a little annoying because I get pretty close, but then I just can't get to 64 or better. But I think I hit the ball pretty far off the tee. I'm a little wild, but you know what they say: drive for show, putt for go. So I'm a pretty solid putter, and I have a decent short game, which is good.
How have your coaches helped you through your high school career?
Oh, they've been a tremendous help to me. I mean, they see stuff that I can't see, and then I work on it. They push me to do better, and they give me all these tips and stuff like that, and it's awesome. Shout out John Ronis, great coach, great guy.
Oh, I didn't know that. Is he Tom Ronis' dad?
Yeah.
Oh, I did not know that at all. Awesome. So I guess I'll just go to the next two questions. When did you start playing golf, and how did you get into golf?
I started playing golf. I think the first time I ever played golf was probably when I was around 6 years old, but I wasn't into it. But I really started getting into it when I was about 10. My grandpa would always take me out to the course. He'd show me around, give me all these different tips, and it just kind of stuck with me after baseball. I didn't really want to play baseball anymore, and I wanted to find another sport, and golf was it.
How was the adjustment from playing in the fall to playing in the late winter, early spring?
It was a little bit of a challenge at first, because the first couple matches and practices, it was cold, it was snowy, but other than that, it started to warm up pretty quickly. It wasn't one of those harsh winters we had, we sometimes get. Right? Yeah. But it was still pullover, kind of like that. It was usually 60 degrees and sunny out.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Yeah. Going along with that delayed season, what did your off-season training consist of? Did you lift weights? How often did you get out on the course? Just stuff like that.
Usually in the wintertime, it's not as easy to play golf just because there's not as much daylight. But I was still out there playing as much as I could, and I did get in the weight room a little bit, but maybe not a whole lot, but just a little bit. And other than that, pretty normal off season for me.
Yeah. How much more important were the matches this year with the shortened season?
We still had about the same amount of matches as we normally do. We also still had conferences, districts, regionals, and states. But normally we have like these other tournaments in there that are just kind of sprinkled in. But we didn't get any of those this year, so it was a little bit different. But I mean, other than that, the matches they kind of prepared us for like the postseason, call it that.
Yeah.
Regionals and states. They were fun. Yeah. Got to play against all the other schools and all the friends on my other teams. And it was enjoyable.
How did the season go for you guys? How far did you make it into the postseason?
Our team, we made it all the way to the states. It was the first time in a long time. But we didn't win states. We got third at states. Not awful, but
pretty good.
Yeah, it was fun. I mean, our region wasn't the best this year. I guess I'm not exactly sure why, but I mean, our team was solid. We ended up traveling pretty far into the postseason, which was nice.
What made you choose golf over all the other sports like basketball? You mentioned baseball. What made you choose golf over those?
I think it's just the fact that it's like an individual sport. I mean, I enjoy team sports. As you know, I play basketball, and I just like that individual atmosphere of doing things on your own, not having to rely on other people. Like it's on you, and I think that's fun.
Yeah, I can see that.
Definitely. So lastly, I guess this season specifically, and in other seasons that have passed, how have your teammates pushed you to become a better golfer?
Well, they're always there. They're supporting me. They're joking around with me. I really like hanging out with my team because they're super laid back, but they're also super competitive, and it's always a blast hanging out with them because they kind of relax me, and then they're just cheering me on. It's awesome.
Nice. And then just a couple college questions. Since obviously you're committed to play at UVA, what are we planning on majoring in?
You know, I'm not exactly sure yet. I mean, I've done a little bit of thought. It's probably going to be like business or econ, but I also thinking about something like environmental science in that type of field, but I'm not exactly sure. I'm still thinking about it, weighing my options.
Well, thank you for joining us today. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule. You too, Jackson. Thank you.
Yeah.
It was a pleasure.